Say hello everybody, this is Vitali here at Firestorm Records tonight, and I'm making this video in reply to Behringer's comments on my last Behringer EP2000 review. I want everybody to understand that I do like Behringer's equipment. I do buy their equipment. I use their equipment. But I said from the beginning when I started doing these reviews that it would always be an honest, fair, and impartial review. That being said, you know, if I report the good and I find something that I think is wrong or I don't like or that is actually it quits, then I've got no choice but to report it. So I did find a flaw in the EP2000. And while it's not a major flaw, it hasn't quit working. It is a design flaw nonetheless. And Behringer's answer was, while quite well written, is obviously not written by somebody that lives in the real world and uses this equipment. I live here in West Texas, out in the Permian Basin. For those of you that know where that is, you know that it's in the desert. It's hot, it's dusty, it's dirty, the wind's always blowing, and I don't care how nice your home is, you cannot keep the dirt out of it. That being said, I've got, as you can see, look here, a white piece of tissue. I'm going to wipe my computer. It's hard to see, but as you can see, it's got a little dirt on it now. As you can see behind me here, I have an ATA case. Even dirtier. And I cleaned this off 2 days ago. I'll go ahead and clean it off now while I'm here. But quite dirty. I've taken the liberty of going ahead and mounting my amps back in the case. I only had them out for the reviews. I'm going to move the light out here where y'all can see a little bit better because the lighting is not real good in here. As you can see, this is an SKB 14U 19-inch case. They said that amp was specifically designed to be used in a 19-inch case. I don't know if y'all can see it. I can probably try to zoom in. Let me zoom in on it. As you can see, I've got my 3-way crossover in the top, my Behringer FX2000 vocals processor, the next one being my Behringer feedback destroyer, then that's my Art Pro VLA2. Behringer didn't make one like that or I'd have bought it. If you notice, that's a Studio Pro 800 watt amp. Guess what? It has a fan in it, Behringer. I'll show you in a minute. Oh, looky there. Can y'all see that? Behringer amp. That is in fact the Behringer EP2000, and I will drop this down to where y'all can get a good view of that. It is actually mounted in the case, and if you'll notice in the grill, let me zoom in. You see the grill, you see the filter. That is in fact the air filter right there behind the grill. And many of y'all are probably wondering what that's all about. Well, the problem is the filter's in the front, the fan is in the back. From the factory, it draws air in the back and blows it out the front. Okay? That's fine if you're not sitting in front of the amp or you're in a laboratory where there's no dirt or dust. Allow me to turn this around. Give me a minute. It's quite heavy. With all the amplifiers in here, well, he's well over 200 pounds. I have a bad back, so I don't pick it up any more than I have to. I'm going to open the back up here. Well, anyway, their logic for building it that way is they say that when it's mounted in a case, a 19-inch case, that the heat will build up inside the case and the amp will fail. Well, I want you to take a close look at the back of this case. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me move the camera up here a little bit. This is the case. Let me get my cables and hook them up. Do y'all see anything wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with this. But the fact is, you cannot put the back on the case with the amplifier hooked up. If you notice, I don't even have the power cord. In order to hook the amp up, you have to remove the back, take the back off, and set it to the side. Well, that eliminates the heat buildup problem, don't you think? All that being said, here's the fan. Where did I say the filter was? At the front. If it pulls air in here and blows it out the front, what good did it do to put a filter in it? Stop and think about this. I'm not a rocket scientist, but I do have 2 college degrees. As a matter of fact, I have a license from the FCC to work in communications equipment. In most parts of the country here, if it draws air in the back, blows it out the front, and the filter is in the front, you're filtering the exhaust. You're not filtering the intake. So what happens is it draws air, dirt, dust into the back through the heat sink. The filter catches the dirt at the front and it's blowing out hot filtered air into your face if this is sitting up on a desk or a table in front of you at a show. Over time, the heat sink fills up with dirt and dust, gets clogged up, and the air no longer goes through the heat sink. It blows around it. Slowly, over time, losing the ability to cool off the transistors. And what you have over a period of time is as that clogs up, the heat sink loses the ability to dissipate heat, and you end up with thermal failure. If you don't believe me, open up a computer that you've had running for a while that's not filtered and look at the fans and the heat sinks in that computer. They're quite dirty. I'm not saying that it's a bad amp. It's not a bad amp. It's a great amp for the money. It performs well and above specifications. Offers a lot of features. Does a good job. I'm just saying, don't you think they should have put the filter back here? Either on this side of the fan or the other side of the fan and filtered the air. You know, their logic for putting the fan in and bringing the air in the back and blowing it out the front is they said that in a case with the back on it, it would build up heat, overheat, and quit. Well, not in my case. My arms are a lot stronger than my back. This is a 19-inch case. And this is probably the same case that me and millions of other customers out there and viewers use to haul their equipment in. I've got a bigger one coming that's on rollers to where I can mount. That'll actually be twice the depth of this one. I can mount equipment on both sides. But guess what? It's not only is it vented, it's got fans built in it to pull cool air in and blow hot air out. So, you know, that being said, I don't know. I do know that it didn't do any good to put a filter in it if it's on the wrong side. This is Untitled here at Firestorm Records, and y'all have a nice night.